Hello everybody and welcome back to another Hot Wheels collector video. Today I have another premium to showcase to you. This is the Audi S4 Quattro from Hot Wheels. This is a great casting from 2021 and this is a really lovely one out of the Deutschland design set from 2022, about midway through the year. So this is a really quite nice car. Lots to talk about, so let's actually get into this. So first of all, sort the wheels out because they pop out a little bit. So here's the side. We have firstly the continuation of the rear brake lights that wraps onto the side of the car. That's very nicely done in Tampo. We also have a side indicator, there we go, zoom in a bit, which is done in silver. We also have a nice wing mirror. Love to see the wing mirrors on the car. And the casting's really nice because we also have the petrol cap, which is very nice. We also have some chrome 6-spoke wheels. Very suiting for the car. It makes it look very standard and very clean. And that is kind of the design that this car is going for. On the top we also have a nice sunroof, which is just phenomenal. Looks very nice. And really adds to the design of the car. I'm pleased they added it to the casting to make it that much more realistic. They could have easily just ignored it and said, well, you're not going to do that, but they did, so it's awesome. Let's move along to the front section of the car. Here we go. I'm moving it with my fingers. I had a guy comment saying that I need to get a turntable, but I prefer doing it with my hands and moving it around because it means that you can just look at where I'm talking about instead of just spinning around, and it might be showing the rear of the car whilst I'm talking about bits on the front, if that makes sense. So here's the front of the car. We have a lot of Tampo work, so we have the front lights, which are done very nicely. I love it when they actually put the extra effort in and actually find the real car's headlights instead of just doing like a black blob or something there. We also have the front grille, which is standard Audi shape. Looks very nice. We also have the S4 badge, as well as the Audi badge. All of that is done very nicely. In the lower portion of the front bumper, we also have a lot of vents. Obviously, this is the sportiest model of this car. Back then, they didn't have an RS4. Now, obviously, we do, but back then, this was the top model. This was, there wasn't anything better than it from Audi's S4 line. So, has lots of need for cooling, and it was a very sporty and fun car to drive. Even though it's quite heavy due to its quite large size, it's a very nice car, and they've done the front phenomenally. I don't think they could have done that section any better. Moving to the side, and I'm just going to talk because obviously this is the same, so you can have a look at it if you want. This is not that heavy of a casting. Like, I'm used to them being heavy because obviously I've only opened up the Mercedes-Benz Sprinter, which is like a gigantic casting. It's like a big van. Where this one is a really quite compact car, I suppose. It's not that long. It's probably not much longer than the current Audi A3 Saloon or Sedan version. It depends where you're from. So yeah, it's a really nice one. I'm pleased Hot Wheels did this one because it's one of those cars that really just doesn't get done very often. So obviously that's what I'd rather Hot Wheels did. Those cars that aren't, cookie cutter, if that makes sense. So they're not something that everybody else is doing. They're a bit more, reserved, I suppose, or interesting, unique cars. We've seen that from the MX-5 Mazda Speed, which has just come out in the new Boulevard set. I will do a review, but I'm not going to be opening that one because it's on the card. I do prefer these shipping crates because it means you can put them back and all that type of stuff, and it's just more convenient, and the price is better. So, I mean, overall, that's what I'm going to be buying for the car culture stuff. I'm not going to buy any singles. They're all just going to come from the crates. So here's the rear. We have the Audi logo, which is done very nice in silver, as well as a trunk release button, which is also done in silver. We also have the S4 badge, as well as 2 rear lights, which are done very nicely. And the interesting thing about this was, back in the old generation of A4, the headlights were, the rear lights were not part of the trunk. So there was no real technology in the trunk section of the car, where now the rear lights are in the trunk, so kind of is split. I find that really interesting, that they used to do that. I don't know, what's your favourite? Do you prefer the design when Audi used to do it like this without any rear lights on the trunk, or do you prefer it now? Where I think now's definitely obviously fits with other car brands. Lots of other brands are doing this, but I do like this design as well. It looks very nice. We also have some exhausts. Sadly, mine does have a slight defect. Can you see that? For some reason, the metal base paint is coming off. I've never seen that happen before. I wasn't very happy when I saw it, to be entirely honest, because at the price point these are meant to be at, like, you know, if I bought this for £9, which is what they'd be singly, I would be absolutely sending it back. I mean, even if, you know, I'd opened it, it'd be going back, because it's just not really acceptable. But what can you do? I really am not happy when I see errors on these premiums, because once I got it for a good price, what happens if I didn't? You know what I mean? It's just not really acceptable. They should be quality controlled, absolutely. There's no reason why these should not have a quality control, especially at the gigantic profit that Hot Wheels make off these cars. Because I'm telling you now, they don't cost £9, or even in the States it's only $5, but still, they don't cost $5 to make. That's just, yeah, that's just a fib if they tell you that. These really are not that difficult to make, but that's my rant over. They're nice cars, but you know, when they have an error, there's also a slight one there, but that's not the biggest deal. I'm going to show you that there. Just so you're aware, just to look out for stuff. Some of this does come off, like, look, I think there's like some things that might be on the car, like there's some kind of line thing there, that comes off. But like that there is the one that doesn't, that little kind of weird jaggedy thing. At the end of the day, that's not the worst one. It's, you know, okay that, but the exhaust is kind of annoying. To be honest, I think it would have looked better with just a chrome, you know, regular Zamak base than a black one, because then you could do the exhaust properly. That's the only thing they've used the base for. So yeah, they probably could have just done that. But anyways, that is this casting. Am I happy with it? Well, I think the casting's really nice. I'm not happy with the issues on the car, but I suppose you just have to get over them. You know what I mean? It really is. It puts you in a bad mood when you see them. Especially like main lines is not so bad, because I paid like, I don't know, £2 maximum. But on these, I mean, I did only pay £4 each. But what happens if I paid £9? I'd be absolutely foaming at the mouth with that. But yeah, that's the only issues. The tamper works all perfect, which is a good thing. And if you really wanted to fix that little error, you probably could on the paint. It's mainly the exhaust one, which would be quite difficult to fix. But yeah, that's how I got it. I just opened it there, so I haven't done that. That's a shame. But what do I rate the casting out of 10 then? So that's probably what you're wondering. So let's actually tell you. Okay, I'm going to give this an 8 out of 10 as a casting. Anything above 7 is good. So yeah, it's a really nice one. Definitely not my favourite. In fact, I think I prefer the Sprinter van. I didn't think I'd say that. I just think it's a really well done casting, to be entirely honest. This one's also good, but you know, those errors probably have put me in a bit of a bad mood on this one. Hopefully the rest are all right. I don't have anything this bad, because I mean, that it's really, and I'll keep saying this, it's not acceptable, and Hot Wheels really need to get on top of their quality control, because you've got companies like Mini GT who are trying to cut that price down as much as they can, and they're getting close to doing it to rival Hot Wheels, and they have just great quality control compared to this. So if they can't get that sorted, then I have no hope for Hot Wheels, and I think they're just going to die out, if I'm entirely honest. So I really hope that they get that quality control nipped in the bud before it really gets bad, because I can understand main lines, but when it gets to premium stuff, no, definitely not. What should be happening? But that's my rant over. It's a very nice car. Real shame about those little teeny things. Some people probably wouldn't even notice them, but to me that is, you know, significant. On a 164 you really do notice little things like that. If it was on a gigantic, you know, I don't know, 118 scale, you would probably not even notice a paint flaw like that. But when you're doing this and you're making little cars, you have to make sure the quality is right. This shouldn't really have left the factory with that issue. Maybe it happened in transit, but I don't believe it. So all the other cars seem to be okay. I haven't looked at any of them yet. I haven't took them out, but yeah. I've ranted on a lot about quality control there, about this car. I hope I'm not boring you, but that's my little rant. I really, like I said, I really hope Hot Wheels fix it. Anyways, if you enjoyed the video, make sure to like. If you're new, subscribe, and share this in any groups with any friends, family, etc. who may be interested in this video. Anyways, I thank you very much for watching, and I'll see you in the next one. Bye bye everyone.